What's up guys, it's Pete, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to push successfully with randoms. A lot of times teammates just aren't available, and sometimes it seems like it's impossible to push with randoms. You get bad randoms who disconnect, etc, etc. So I'm going to be giving you some tips so you can push successfully with randoms, and hopefully pushing with randoms won't be as bad as it seems. Alright, so let's head right into the first tip. Alright, now before we start, just want to make some things clear. Pushing with randoms is not going to be very good if you're trying to get a rank 30 or rank 35. Now there have been people that have gotten rank 30 with randoms, so it's definitely possible, but it's very RNG. You have to get good randoms and hit play again, and they have to not leave, right? So if you normally I'd push up to 800, and I only would push higher if my brawler that I'm playing is extremely broken, or if I get really good randoms and we hit play again, and then you can then push up higher. And I've actually done that to push above. I think I've pushed up to 950 before, just finding good randoms and just hitting play again over and over again. So yeah, that can work, but if you're just hopping in with random people every single time, I would say probably 800 is probably going to be a good place for you to stop, and then after that you probably want to actually find teammates. Alright, the second thing is having patience, because like I said, you're not going to get good randoms every game, and so a lot of pushing with randoms is having patience, right? Because you're going to lose some, you're going to win, you're going to lose, you're going to win. That's just how randoms are. So yeah, having patience is another big thing. Now with those two disclaimer kind of things out of the way, we can finally get into the actual tips. So let's head right into it. Alright, and the first step that I have for playing with randoms is choose a brawler that actually is good in the mode that you want to push in. Like for example, in the background you're going to have some hot zone gameplay, and I'm running Poco, right? Because Poco is a pretty solid pick in hot zone, and I was able to push him to 800 with randoms, as you see there. But yeah, don't let's just take this hot zone as an example. Don't run something like Crow or a Piper or something stupid like that, because you're just gonna lose. Okay, you're gonna want to run something good, preferably a meta brawler. The more meta a brawler is, the more likely that you can carry your randoms and take over the game by yourself, and the more likely you're able to put the game in your own hands and less out of your random's hands, and the higher chance that you have of winning. So just for example, this hot zone map, the meta is brawlers like Sandy, Amber, Jesse. Those are the kind of brawlers you want to be playing with randoms to increase your chances of winning. You don't want to run a brawler like Crow. And the second thing is to pick brawlers that are not support and brawlers that you can carry with. Right, so Poco is kind of a bad example, because Poco's a support brawler, and it can sometimes be difficult trying to push Poco with the randoms, because you never know if you're going to get tanks. Fortunately in hot zone you can make him work, but like in Brawl, for example, Poco double tank, you're not going to get a tank every single time, right? And Poco double tank, you really have to rely on your tanks, because you're just healing them, right? And if your tanks are trash, doesn't matter how much you heal them, you're going to lose. So brawlers that you can carry the game with are also a good thing. So yeah, that's going to be the first tip. Make sure that you're running brawlers that are actually good in the game mode you want to push in, and also make sure that try to push brawlers that have carry potential, and instead of brawlers that are support, because obviously if you're supporting bad randoms, you're not going to get anywhere. So let's hop into the second tip. Alright, for my second tip is don't trust your randoms with important tasks, right? So tasks such as defending someone that's trying to score a ball in Brawl Ball, or a gem carrier, things like that. Just try to help your randoms when it comes to important tasks. Don't just say, oh, they got it, right? Never trust that, because more oftentimes than not, they don't got it, right? So it seems like a super basic tip, but with randoms it's different, right? When you're playing with teammates, you can trust them, right? You can say, oh, I know he's gonna win his lane, or oh, they can defend that. With randoms, you can't think like that. You have to think like what can go wrong will go wrong, that kind of thing. Okay, it doesn't mean that you need to try to 1v3, but it just means that you might need to help out your randoms a bit more than you would in a normal 3v3 situation. So that's the tip I have at number 2. Alright, and for our next tip, it's going to be at what time to play. Alright, now when you're playing with randoms, it's actually going to be the opposite of what you would normally do when you're playing with a team, right? When you're playing with a team, you want to play at nighttime, because when you play at nighttime, less people are on, and so you're going to get easier matches. However, with the randoms, it's the exact opposite. You're going to play during the daytime, and the reason why, if you play during the nighttime, okay, you're more likely to get underdog, because there's less people playing. The people that are going to be playing at nighttime are going to be the high trophy people, right? And so you're more likely to get underdog, and I can just show you some crazy things. Like there's one time where I was just trying to chill playing Mortis, and every 2 games I had underdog. literally every 2 game I had underdog, which is underdog. Like, playing with Knight is almost impossible at sometimes because you just get underdog so many times. So make sure if you're gonna play with randoms, play during the day, because when you're playing during the day, you're less likely to get underdog and you're more likely to be faced with people at your trophy level. So yes, okay. So yeah, that's another tip. Try to play during the day and less at night. When you play at night, your underdog chances just skyrocket and it can be pretty tough to push. All right, for my next tip, I'm gonna be telling you how a good way to try to avoid underdog in the case that you are playing at night. So yes, okay. So when you hop into a game, you should always be the first person in that lobby. So if I go into a game, let's say I'm playing my Poco at 780 around that, right? There's not gonna be a lot of people that are in my trophy range, right? So when I go into a game, I'm expecting it to say 1 out of 6, right? And that way I know that I'm not going to get underdog. If I hop into a game and there's already people on it, so if you're at a pretty high, well, not high, but like you're pretty up there, like around the 780, like 800 range, and I hop into a game and I'm not the first person in there, that means that someone that's higher trophies than me has already started the game, and it's more likely that that team is going to be a high trophy team and I'm going to get underdog. And chances are, if you're playing an underdog, I don't care how skilled you are, if you're playing with randoms against actual people that are actually in a team running a meta comp, you're not going to win. All right, I'll just put it straight to you like that. You're just not going to win. So you should always be the first person. If there's someone else in there, leave, wait a bit, hop back in, and make sure that you are the first person in that lobby. All right, the next thing is anytime multiple people join at once. Okay, you should when you're queuing up, it should just be 1, 2, 3. It should never be 3 at a time. If it's, let's say it says 1 out of 6 and then it just jumps to 4 out of 6, that you're probably going to face an actual team comp, which is going to leave you at a big disadvantage. So when you're playing with randoms, okay, you're going to want to try to face randoms as much as possible. Okay, if you're facing an actual team comp, you're going to be at such a disadvantage. So whenever you see like a big number, if a jump in like 3, particularly 3, obviously, because there's 3 in a team, you see a jump like 3, just hop out, wait a bit, try again. All right, so that's going to be my next tip. All right, and for my next tip, we're going to be discussing what do I want to do if I want to push beyond 800, right? Let's say if I want to push a rank 30, like what do I need to do that, make that happen with randoms, right? First of all, I would recommend pushing a meta brawler. If you're going to try to push rank 30 with randoms, definitely make sure it's a meta brawler. So something like Amber, Byron, Ruffs, etc. So a brawler that it's really good in the meta that you're going to be able to carry a lot of the times with. All right, and the next is completely RNG, but you're going to want to keep playing until you find good randoms. So let's take this hot zone for example. Let's say I'm playing Amber and then I get matched with a Jessie and a Sandy and they play really well. Okay, after you win that game, don't leave. You want to hit that play again button, and chances are if your randoms are really good, you can end up going pretty far. I think I mentioned earlier that one time I was able to push up to 950 with randoms. All right, there was another time where I was able to push my Sandy up to 850 with randoms. So yeah, I mean, if you get some good randoms and you play again, you can actually end up pushing pretty high, even all the way up to 1K. When I was playing, it was my Bull. Unfortunately, my teammate, my random that I was playing with, he once he got 1K, he left, and so I wasn't able to actually finish it off. But yeah, I mean, he was able to get 1K from playing with randoms, and I was able to help him. Unfortunately, he left when he got 1K, so he left me sitting at 950. But thankfully, I was able to get that rank 30 later on. But yeah, I mean, so it's definitely possible. But it is going to take a lot of RNG until you find that good team. But once you do, definitely take advantage of that. Hey, and then even after that, after your session, just add them. They're probably going to add you, because why wouldn't you add someone that you just went on a super good run with? Why wouldn't you add them? So. And then maybe you could, even play in an organized comp later on. You never know. But yes, that's going to be pretty much all my tips for you guys. Yeah, but I think what I said at the beginning still stands. Patience, right? Patience is the big key. A lot of times when you're playing with randoms, you're going to lose before you win. That's going to happen so often. Like, for example, my Poco. My Poco was around 750. I tilted all the way down to 730 before I finally made my way back up to 800, right? And that's just going to happen because, like I said, you know, there's a lot of RNG with randoms, you know, and, you know, it doesn't matter how, even if you take all my tips, you're still sometimes going to get that random that throws the game. You're still going to get that random that disconnects. You're still going to get that random that decides to play Crow in every single mode. And so, yeah, right? So hopefully that you guys find this helpful. Don't expect a lot of 3v3 videos. This is a showdown channel. I mean, if you want 3v3 tips, you can. There's so many pro players. But I just wanted to share this because it's something that I do, you know. Back when I was starting out, I didn't really have teammates, right? And so I would have to either play showdown, which is why I play showdown a lot, or I'd have to play with randoms, right? So hopefully you can find this helpful. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And peace.